Right now, in July 2026, a GeForce RTX 5090 sells for about $4,300. A Radeon RX 9070 XT sells for $670. Same shops, same week, 16 gigabytes of memory. For 3 years, the advice never changed. Buy the NVIDIA card because CUDA is the only thing local AI runs well on. That advice is now wrong. And the thing that broke it is not AMD's compute stack. AMD's compute stack is the part that lost. The winner is Vulkan, the graphics API, the one that was built to draw video games. So here is the question this video closes. On an AMD graphics card, can a gaming API beat the compute stack AMD wrote for that exact silicon? On AMD's newest desktop GPU, the Vulkan backend chews through a 500 token prompt at 2,888 tokens a second. ROCm, on the same card, on the same model, manages 1,149, 2.5 times slower on its own hardware. I'll show you why that happens and the one workload where it flips straight back. Quick grounding, because the whole fight happens in one place. Nearly every local model you run, through a llama, through LM Studio, or a plain terminal, is running llama.cpp underneath. It is one of the busiest repositories on GitHub, 122,000 stars, and the last commit landed yesterday. This is not a project you check on once a year, and llama.cpp does not have a GPU backend. It has 9 of them. CUDA for NVIDIA, HIP for AMD's ROCm, Cycle for Intel, OpenCL for Qualcomm, Metal for Apple, and then Vulkan, which talks to every one of those chips. Open the release that shipped yesterday, and the asymmetry is right there in the file list. CUDA needs 4 separate Windows packages because the runtime has to match the version on your machine. Vulkan ships 1 zip, 1 file, every GPU you can buy, and you already have the driver, because your desktop needs Vulkan to draw its own windows. So installing a Vulkan build is download, unzip, run. Compare that to getting ROCm working. An SDK, a supported distribution list 4 entries long, 2 Ubuntus and 2 Red Hats, and environment variables that lie about your GPU model so the libraries load it all. Vulkan runs on NVIDIA, AMD, Intel, Qualcomm's Adreno inside your phone, and on a Mac through Molten VK. 1 backend, 5 vendors, 3 operating systems. That part has been true for years, so portability was always Vulkan's argument. Performance was the argument it kept losing, badly, until the matrix cores showed up. 2 years ago, the Vulkan backend did its matrix multiplies with ordinary compute shaders, while CUDA was feeding tensor cores directly. On paper, that is a fair fight. In practice, it was not close. Then Kronos shipped an extension called Cooperative Matrix, and Mesa's RADV driver wired it straight to RDNA 3's WMMA instructions. The matrix units AMD had been putting in gaming cards since 2022. Start Llama, CPP on a 7900 XTX today, and it prints 1 line during init. Matrix cores, KHR Coopmat. That single line is the reason this video exists. The gaming API can now reach the same silicon CUDA reaches. Ruben Ortlim maintains that backend. In January, he stood up at FOSDEM with a talk titled Vulkan API for Machine Learning, competing with CUDA and ROCm in llama.cpp. The question mark is his, not mine. His summary of flash attention on AMD once Cooperative Matrix landed, people reporting 4 times the performance. 4 times, not 4%, and he was just as blunt about what it costs. Vulkan is very driver sensitive, his words. All kinds of behavioral discrepancies between vendors, and no profiler anywhere near NVIDIA's Nsight. Optimizing a shader is trial and error, so what does it actually measure? Start with the card most local AI builders own. Radeon 7900 XTX, 24 gigabytes, around $600 used, the best memory per dollar on the secondhand market. Same 7 billion model, same 4-bit weights, measured in April. Vulkan generated 191 tokens a second. ROCm managed 167. AMD's own stack, 14% behind a gaming API. That is not one person's bad build. In March, a bug landed on the Llama CPP tracker titled ROCm, significantly lower token generation performance versus Vulkan on RX 7900 XTX. 6 ROCm versions tested. Same answer every time. Prompt processing was a tie, around 3,500 tokens a second either way. The gap sits entirely in generation, which is the part you sit and watch, 1 word at a time. Then RDNA 4 shipped, and the gap became a canyon. On the 9070 XT, Vulkan pushed 2888 tokens a second through prompts. The HIP path pushed 1149, 2.5 times. That was March. A May write-up reproduced it at 14 to 30% on generation, and both landed on the same explanation, which is one number no driver engineer would call surprising. A GPU does not run one thread. It runs a wavefront, a locked group of threads stepping through the same instruction together. AMD's data center chips run 64 threads per wave. Your gaming Radeon runs 32. RDNA has been wave 32 since 2019. ROCm's kernel libraries were tuned, and are still largely tuned, for the 64 wide data center parts, so half of every wide wavefront schedules work that is not there. The Vulkan driver never carried that history. RAD-EV emits wave 32 kernels because wave 32 is what the hardware in front of it is. You can watch it in the bug report. Wave size 32 on Vulkan, 64 on ROCm, so AMD is not shipping a slower card. AMD is shipping a compute library written for a different shape of chip, and the open source graphics driver got to the gaming silicon first. Now the part that gets left out because it undercuts the headline. Vulkan does not win everything on AMD. It wins one specific shape of model, and it loses the other one. June benchmarks 7900 XTX, same prompt, 5 runs averaged. A dense 27 billion model, ROCm 34.6 tokens a second, Vulkan 28.1. ROCm takes that one outright. Switch to a mixture of experts model, 35 billion total, 3 billion active per token, and it inverts. Vulkan 71.4, ROCm 63.8. Dense models are one uniform matrix multiply after another, which is exactly what hand-tuned HIP kernels are built for. Mixture of experts jumps around in memory, and the cooperative matrix path absorbs that better. So which shape are you downloading in 2026? Qwen, GPT-OSS, Nematron, DeepSeek? The models people actually run at home went mixture of experts, and that decides the backend argument for most of us. That is not an accident either. At home, you are limited by memory bandwidth, not by maths. Fewer weights read per token means more tokens per second on the same card. Which brings us to the thing that decides local AI more than any benchmark on this page, not tokens per second, how much memory you can afford to put in the box. A 5090 gives you 32 gigabytes for around $4,300. That is $135 per gigabyte. A 9070 XT gives you 16 for $670, $42 a gigabyte, 3 times cheaper per gigabyte, and the gap is widening. GDDR7 is in a shortage. 16 gigabytes of it went from about $80 a card to over $200 inside a year. The 5090 launched at $1999. GDDR6, which AMD uses on the 9070, mostly dodged that. On a 5090 today, the memory alone is roughly $820 of what you pay. And then there is the machine that makes the whole comparison look strange. AMD's Ryzen AI Max Plus 395 puts 128 gigabytes on one package shared between the CPU and the integrated GPU. On that box, through Vulkan, a 120 billion parameter model runs at 18 tokens a second. A 284 billion model runs at 13 with 90 gigabytes pinned to the GPU. A 30 billion coder model runs at 101 tokens a second. That is a small box on a desk, holding weights that no consumer NVIDIA card can hold at any price. And the backend the guide recommends on that machine is Vulkan, not ROCm, AMD's own hardware, running best on a graphics API from Kronos. Before this turns into an advert, the counter evidence and it is strong. On NVIDIA hardware, CUDA is still ahead, and on prompt processing it is not close. Same benchmark table. A 5090 on CUDA does 14,000 tokens a second on prompts. The same card on Vulkan does 10,400. Vulkan is running at 74% of CUDA. On generation, it nearly closes. 290 versus 264, about 91%. But if you own a GeForce card, run CUDA. Vulkan is not a reason to switch teams, and AMD is fixing its side. ROCm 7.2 officially supports RDNA 4 now, the 9070 XT, the 9060 XT, the whole line, and since CES this year it ships as one package covering Windows and Linux. There is a real caveat on the Vulkan side too. It is driver code, so a Mesa regression can garble your output, and there are open bugs on older Radeon cards this month. Portable does not mean bulletproof, so what does winning mean here? Not that Vulkan beat CUDA, it did not. It means the second GPU vendor is finally usable without that vendor's own software stack. llama shipped experimental Vulkan support after an issue sat open for a year and a half. LM Studio ships a Vulkan runtime on Windows. The defaults are moving, and defaults are what change what people buy. Intel matters here too. Arc has no CUDA and no ROCm worth the name, so Vulkan is how a B-series card runs anything at all. That is a third vendor pushing the same backend forward, none of which has dented the market yet. NVIDIA shipped 90% of every discrete graphics card sold last quarter. AMD had 8%. Intel had 1%. That is the war, and it is not close to over, but the reason to buy green was the software, not the die. Take the software lock away, and what is left is memory per dollar. And on memory per dollar, AMD is ahead by 3 to 1, so practically. If you have an AMD card, stop compiling ROCm first. Download the Vulkan build, run your model, and only go back to HIP if what you run is a dense model. If you are buying this month, price the memory, not the logo. And if what you run is mixture of experts, the gaming API is the fast path on the red team's hardware. That is the video. Every source and every benchmark is linked below. Go run it on your own card and tell me what number you get.